Welcome to the Sports is Fun podcast featuring me, Marty Zylstra. Internet friends, how are you? I told you I'd be doing this, and here we are. Isn't this awesome? Thanks for listening. It's really, really nice to be here. Make sure you subscribe, and we're going to talk about hockey. We're going to talk about football, NFL football. We're going to talk about baseball. We'll talk a little bit about MLS, soccer, football. We'll talk about golf. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. I'm going to have guests. I'm going to have friends. I'm going to have you. I'm going to have call-in. I'm going to giveaways. I'm going to... everything you can think of. It's going to be great. I'm going to let this song roll. It's pretty rockin', eh? So, let's fade that out. First things first, who am I? Like, why am I talking about sports? Who the hell am I? Well, I've been a Leafs fan since I was very young. Been a hockey fan since I was young. Living in Northern Ontario, across country, Canada. I'm sitting in a suburb in beautiful British Columbia today. And I got into hockey when I was a kid. All my pals were in hockey. They played hockey, probably like you. I never played. I'm a musician. I skated on ponds in the backyard, that type of thing, but I never played. But that doesn't matter. I love the sport just like you do. I'm a huge Leafs fan, but I do love hockey. I watch a lot of games, just like you folk. Oh, there we go. Finally, the song is... I watch a lot of hockey like you folk. I think I watched about 150 games this year, whether it be the Leafs or other teams, and I've had a blast following this season. There's lots of storylines, Leaf storylines, of course, but other storylines. And here we are. So, we're going to talk about all kinds of different sports. I'm a big Seahawks fan. Out here on the West Coast, but I'm going to bring on my pals who are experts in NFL football. I am not an expert in NFL football. I just love it. Sunday we watch the Seahawks, and it's a blast. I got my two little girls were screaming at the TV. Of course, it was sad to see Russell Wilson go, so I think this year's going to be a little bit different for me and the Seahawks, but I'd love to hear from you and your teams. Who do you cheer for? What storylines are you looking forward to in NFL football? And then we got the Blue Jays. Man, living in Northern Ontario, I was a huge Blue Jays fan. During their runs in the 90s, saw them play a bunch of times at the Sky Dome. So I was a bandwagoner. And now I'm back on the bandwagon, cheering for Vladdy and the team. What an exciting time to be a Blue Jays fan. Although with this past weekend against the Yanks, fucking Yanks, they look good, but they need a pitcher, so we're going to get some experts on baseball on the pod, and we're going to talk about it. This is my intro and who I am and what I'm into. I'm going to do giveaways. We're going to do jersey giveaways. We're going to do hat giveaways. We're going to do it all. If you really want to, you can send me a DM and I'll fire you off some links to my own personal merch. I'd love to give you a chance to purchase that for cheap. Of course, why would you do that if you don't even know me? So let's get to know each other first before we start talking about that. Now, here we go. This is the segment. We're going to do this every show. 5 storylines. What's going on this week? What do we got this week? We got Connor McDavid. 5 things. First one, number 1 is Connor McDavid, drum roll. Wow. Busted on the strip. Was he in Toronto? Was he in Vegas? Where was he? Was he in California? Walking around with a strange brunette. I don't know what I thought about it. You know what I thought about it? Here's the thing. I like Connor McDavid as a hockey player, but this is going to be a bit of a hot take. I think, and you know, we haven't really gotten into this, but this will be number 2, so it kind of bleeds into the next one. But John Tortorella said that Barkov is a better hockey player than Connor McDavid. Hear me out why I agree with him a little bit. Not fully, but a little bit. And I did watch the Battle of Alberta intently. I'll say that Connor McDavid has magical skills. I don't know how he does it. He can put the entire team on his back and score goals. He can skate faster than anybody I've ever seen, I think. Ever. And he's unbelievable. I'd love to have him on the Leafs. He probably will be a Leaf one day, let's be honest. But he does not know how to play defense. Just like John Tortorella him and I kind of agree on that one point. But it looked like he needed a bit of defense the other night. Hammered on the strip wherever he was. I didn't see him doing anything wrong. Maybe it was his sister, his cousin. Maybe it was his wife's or his mom's friend's wife's sister's aunt. Maybe it was his PR lady. Who knows? But I'm not going to judge him. But I think it is a funny story. Funny as hell. Number 2, John Tortorella on Philly. You know, when he played in Vancouver, and by the way, if you talk to Canucks fans, they absolutely hate John Tortorella. I like the guy, and I'll tell you the reason why. I like the guy because I've heard really good things about him off the ice. I think as a coach, he's a hard ass, and some players love hard ass coaches, and John Tortorella is a hard ass coach. I think Philly has bigger trouble than coaching, though. Maybe they need some players first. They have some good pieces, but they're missing, I don't know, defense. They should start there, but I think that John Tortorella may lift Philly out of the doldrums for a while, and I don't know, I'm going to watch it. I like watching a car crash. What about you guys? What do you think? Send me a DM. Send me a message on Twitter. I'm TML Fan in Van on Twitter, by the way. If you want to follow me, please do. And we can have some positive and or negative discourse on your opinions. I'm happy to hear different opinions, but I think Torts is a good hiring. There's better coaches out there. Trotz obviously didn't want to go there. He didn't want to take the money, and that's fine by me. Give it to Torts. See what happens. Let's have fun with it. Number 3, the playoff format. I'm watching Tampa and the Avalanche in the final, as you are. You know, that probably was destined to be in the end anyway, even if the Leafs had beaten Tampa, which it would be the Avs and the Avs and the Leafs. But I think everybody on planet Earth knows that you go up against the champs and it's going to be tough. And I think that the Leafs were in tough in round 1. Had it been a different format, it probably still would have been the Leafs and Tampa in the Eastern Conference Finals, with Toronto probably losing, same outcome. And I wanted them to win more than anybody, as much as you, maybe more. I've been cheering for that team for way too long. I've seen them suffer. I've seen management make mistakes. But in the end, I think the playoff format, it keeps us all engaged at least. But yeah, 1 against 8, 2 against 7, etc. Let's at least think about going back to it. I even like some complex wild card play-in scenarios that would be fun, like 9 versus 8 or 9-10 and 1 game winner take all, and then play a 3-game series for 8. Why not make it interesting there? Don't make it interesting in round 1 with Tampa versus Toronto. Like, come on, Gary, get it right. Let's go. More on the Leafs. I don't want to talk all about the Leafs, but here we are. So we're talking about the Leafs right now. Who starts in net in October for Toronto? You know, I think it's Campbell, and I'm going to say that because the report, thanks to Leafs Update, talking about Campbell's people meeting again with management. You know, I think they're going to get it done. Mrazek's on the books right now for 3.8, so once he's out, I think Campbell probably gets his 4.1, 4.2 this year, but an AAV of 4 over 3 or 4 years is reasonable. And I'll tell you why I think that. The number one reason I think that is because of the goaltending depth in Toronto. You got Peksa, you got this Arthur kid who's in the VHL and probably going to play in the K this year. There are some interesting options with the Growlers, even with the Marlies. So I think they're going to look at Campbell with Shalgren and Wall probably as a platoon kind of deal. And by the way, I'm sure Dubas has another idea, like maybe Gibson, maybe. But I don't know if that'll happen. I don't know if he's going to go for Gibson, but I think it's Campbell for the next couple of years while we develop our goalies in the system and see if we can find our Shesterkin or Vasilevsky. And I think that's a good move. I think it's a good move. I don't care what you think. I think it's a good move. Campbell's a great person, great locker room guy. He holds the record in the NHL for most wins to start a season. So you can't tell me that he's not a great goalie. He's in the top 10 this season, and I think he's going to continue to build. This was the most games he'd ever played in his career. So there's only one way to go up. There's only one way to go for Jack, and that's up. And I'm here for it. I am absolutely here for it. Next up, we got to talk about Arizona. Okay, Arizona. Here we go. This is number 4. Arizona, the Coyotes playing in a university stadium. Everybody knows my opinion. Fuck that. That is bullshit. The Arizona Coyotes need to move. I don't care where they move. Some people, like, I follow NRD and the Cold Stove Pod. I follow Leafs Late Night. You guys, shout out to Darty and Roscoe, Beaner and Steph, and Southey. Everybody kind of agrees we need to move this team. We need to move it either to Quebec, right now, to the Videotron Center, which holds 18,000 people, which has an average fan attendance, 8 or 9 or 10,000 people per game for the Ramparts. Are you kidding me? 10,000. Are you kidding me? This is a junior team, and it's going to be 5,000 for an NHL team. Get that in your head. 5,000 people. They probably can't even sell it out at $50 a pop, $40 a pop, $10 a pop even. Throw in a pop or two. Are you kidding me? This team needs to move. I don't care if they go to Houston or Austin. I don't care. Move it. Kansas City, I don't care. Quebec is my number one choice. I believe we need another Canadian team. I love Canadian hockey because I am Canadian at the end of the day. God bless America. That's fine. I grow the game. It's grown. It's grown as far as it's going to grow. Let's build it back. Let's build back from strength, and that's the Quebec City Nordiques. QC. It's a great idea. And number 5, the most important part here is who are we going to draft at 25? More Leafs talk, but until we get a guest talk, and by the way, I've got a number of guests lined up. I got Chase McCallum. We're going to talk about some of his incredible analytics that he does. I'm going to get Darty from the Leafs Late Night on here. I'm going to get some of my friends out here on the West Coast who are big Jays fans. We're going to talk music. We're going to talk hockey. We're going to talk baseball. We're going to talk Seahawks. We might even talk, I doubt it, but we might talk BC Lions. I'm not a CFL guy, but we might talk about that. Who knows? But who are we going to get at 25? I like Rorty McGrorty. What is this guy's name? It's going to be awesome. He sounds like a I got his name wrong. Rotgar? What's his name? I'm not even going to look it up. McGrorty. Get him. Just for the name. The name alone. But he is, a lot of analysts have him at 26, which would be nice. I think Dubas is going to possibly trade down, though. I think that's probably the game. Trade down and get another second and maybe a third. Probably move Kerfoot. I mean, let's be honest. That's probably the game plan there. But who knows? Kyle we trust, right? So let's see what happens, and I think it's going to be fun to watch the next few weeks as the Cup final is over. I have the Tampa Bay Lightning in 6. Sorry, guys, but the Avs are done, and I've been wrong before, so it might be the Avs in. Who knows? It might be the Avs in 6. I could be wrong. It could be the Avs in 5. It could. Who knows? It might be Tampa in 7. I don't know. I think it's Tampa though. After watching Game 3, in Tampa, I think they're done. The Avs are done. They're cooked. Kadri's not in there. I'd like to see him back. Maybe if Kadri comes back and hoists the Stanley Cup, I'll get pretty excited, just like you folk. But Tampa looks like they have their game face on once again, and it's all over. So anyway, like I said, this is an intro edition, episode 1 of Sports is Fun, the podcast. My name is Marty Zylstra, TML Fan in Van on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram, same URL, TML Fan in Van. I'd love to hear from you. Send me some questions, send me some intriguing ideas, send me your thoughts on the Blue Jays, send me your thoughts on NFL football. Let's talk about what you want to hear. Let's talk about rock and roll. And this has been great. Thank you so much. Episode 2 is going to be coming next week. We're going to do once a week or less or more, depending on if we need an emergency episode. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm really excited. I'm excited to hear from you. I'm excited to talk a lot to my friends and my pals about rock and roll and sports, because sports is fun. When the Leafs lose, man, sports is sure fun. It's sure fucking fun, isn't it? This is me signing out for today. Thanks for listening. Subscribe if you can to the YouTube channel as well. All the links are in the below, and you'll see it. And I'm really excited for this. This is going to be great. Awesome. Rock on!